they don't make it easy to find if he has a YouTube channel. I have written down 10912 unfounded smear. Another half page of notes, but not too much. At 1:10, this must be Dad. She's saying, I'm not going to be yelled down by some yokel in a car. She claims something about no right to make some people targets. So I think what she meant there was the thing about the billionaires. They're twisting him into making billionaires into a target, which is something that Redneckonomics does. She tells them to go to the homes. She tells them to do graffiti art. And then it shows up. She says stuff about looting being no big deal and similar to the Boston Tea Party. So yeah, 110, not gonna be yelled down by some yokel in a car. Something about no one has the right to make some people targets is my guess. My notes are inconclusive right now.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about anything else. And I'm done. How's that?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you right now. I don't believe, you know what, when someone says to me, the evidence that this is a scamdemic, what fucking evidence? There isn't any
God damn.
Now, I'm doing an anti-vax video, and I'm going to tell you right now, by the time the end of this is done, I will show you that the anti-vax movement got together and decided they could parlay what they made up about MMR into a bigger market by bringing it into COVID. All right? Because they are all making money off products that they are selling against vaccines and traditional medicine. Every fucking one of them. And I'm going to show you that, and then you choose to believe what you want. I'm not going to be yelled down by some fucking yokel in a car who thinks he gets to say whatever the fuck he wants at the expense of other people, and I don't agree with that, okay?
Right.
I don't agree that everybody is fair target for our movement. Sorry. That is not the way it works. And
by the way,
not on the side of the Democratic fucking Party. I am on the side of fucking humanity. I'm done.
1:11, which means 1 hour, 11 minutes. And mostly I'm listing those numbers for myself, and sorry for any inconvenience. Sticking up for censorship of storming buildings with semi-automatics. My eyesight's bad, but I can see it. Just about done. I know what I saw. I saw what they tried to do to that guy. To repeat, these people are all tied to the hip. Redneckonomics loves herself some independent outsider. So, Del Piana, independent outsider, they're saying they're sticking up for the censorship against people storming buildings with semi-automatics, something like that.
Can I just say, has he heard for the past 8 months what we were talking about with disaster capitalism and people using this? And has he also heard us talk about using me even on this stream during this time, saying yes, we do have to be careful that they don't go too far, that they don't use surveillance techniques and breach past, and do all that. I am not going to rail against Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for protecting themselves against guys who are planning to storm something with semi-automatic weapons. Are you out of your mind, dude?
The military-industrial complex continues to try to entrap us and pigeonhole us and box us in and fill in information and whatnot into PRISM files. That's PRISM. Well, they continue to do that to try to network out who we are as anons, as individuals, as just regular people who were herded into the internet. We did not ask for social media. This is what happened. This is where history took the common person. 11148. He talked about killing billionaires. So these are my notes. It'll be interesting to see how this comes out in the wash. I think this show was from a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure at this point. That's something 11156 frills. So maybe she said something there, and I jotted that down. Oh, she might have said he said that a few times, and then I jotted down liars. That's the end of my notes. I jot down liars. I pretty much do not believe any of them.
Can I just say, has he heard for the past 8 months what we were talking about with disaster capitalism and people using this? And has he also heard us talk about using me even on this stream during this time, saying yes, we do have to be careful that they don't go too far, that they don't use surveillance techniques and breach past, and do all that. I am not going to rail against Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for protecting themselves against guys who are planning to storm something with semi-automatic weapons. Are you out of your mind, dude? Seriously. And on top of that, we have been talking about politicians who are taking advantage of this situation, of the COVID situation. We've talked about the billionaires short selling stock and selling stock. So
way,
I don't know where you're going with this.
When we all were sitting here and he was talking about killing billionaires, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I heard that too. I was like, no, that's not what we do.
Yeah, he said that a few times.
Do you have any fucking idea what that would do to any movement? How far do you think we'd get? 600 billionaires in America. How far do you think we'd get killing billionaires before we're killed? How far? Because I'm going to tell you something. That is not the way this works here. You want to stop the billionaires? Stop buying their shit. And by the way, they will never not be billionaires. And you want to know why? Because Americans don't want anything but capitalism because they like their shit.
That was an outrageous show, and obviously, despite this being a lot of work for myself, I've got nearly 20 minutes of raw audio from this part of the game to go through. And then I have to figure out how to chop him up, slice and dice. It's fun though, I gotta do something. If I wasn't doing this, I'd be stewing in meaningless watching of something. I can't even find anything to watch anymore. Alright, thanks for your time and consideration. Take care. Bye-bye. That was outrageous. Consider the source. We can't go on together. We're suspicious now. My advice is trust nobody. What's this idea of not voting? How is not voting going to change anything? If we can't get people to vote third party for Jill Stein, how are we going to get people to not vote at all?
I don't understand how the American people can continue to support this system of government. I don't understand how people can continue to think that voting is a legitimate action in this country. I don't understand how people can spend their time convincing other people that all they need to do is vote and we'll get out of this mess. That's a fucking lie. Voting is what put us here. We have only one way out. One. If you need me to spell it out right here for you on camera, you are not woke. If you are waiting to vote in November of 2020, you are a fucking sheep. And if you are unwilling to do anything but sit around and watch this go down, you are totally governable. The Democrats are a laugh fucking riot. They need more than a clown car now.
This woman has to be one of four things. She's either a regular guy, best case scenario, She could be a useful idiot. She could be a grifter. Or she could be COINTELPRO. She's now linked to Patricia Negron. That is highly suspicious. End of trusting her.
I'm going to make an appeal tonight for Become Ungovernable Radio. You will find that as the censorship gets worse and worse here on social media, that's a good alternative for you. Because we are all out there putting together podcasts for the radio station. Mine will start on Sunday at 8 o'clock at night, be the first episode. Sarah Friels is putting together one. Dave Denton's putting together one on WikiLeaks. We have Patricia Negron doing one on living outside the system. And we have one coming up from Nick Greco on direct democracy. It is time, people, to pay attention. Every day in that radio station, we run something of value for you to listen to. And as we ramp it up, it's going to get better and better.
That was an outrageous show, and obviously, despite this being a lot of work for myself, I've got nearly 20 minutes of raw audio from this part of the game to go through. And then I have to figure out how to chop them up, slice and dice. It's fun, though. I got to do something. If I wasn't doing this, I'd be stewing in meaningless watching of something. I can't even find anything to watch anymore. Alright, thanks for your time and consideration. Take care. Bye-bye. That was outrageous. Consider the source. That's the end of trusting her, in my honest opinion. Okay, guys. Alright, thanks. And that's it for the show. I tell everybody to go see your show. That's from Seinfeld. Okay, later. You shut the fuck up. Is this still on? Oops. Just don't vote. And I have to tell you what needs to be done. It better be encrypted. Better be in private. You tell me what we should do. I'm your grandmama and we're ungovernable. This is your grandmom. This is Radio Grandmom. Get your Elvis and your Tom Petty. Okay, I'm just rambling. Oh my god. Patricia Negron? Wow. Wow.
J. Edgar Hoover was one of the giants. He personified integrity. He personified honor. He personified courage. He personified loyalty. The greatness of Edgar Hoover will remain inseparable from the greatness of the organization he created and gave his whole life to build.